This isn't a review. This is kind of my thoughts on the last two Hobbit movies. Basically, it's weird because I really like the Lord of the Rings movies. Then I think a couple of years ago I watched The Hobbit and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. The sequel I watched this year before I saw the new one. And it's weird. I like the first 20 minutes. And then, I don't know, after a while, after that, it just falls flat to me. Especially in the third one, I didn't really have a problem in the original trilogy when they, padded stuff out. I really didn't. I thought it was done well. The detailing, everything had context in the movie, the camera work, story, plot, same thing. Dialogue, acting, even from Orlando Bloom. And, this is just, I don't know, it's shocking, because the CG mixed with the practical in the originals was phenomenal. That's how you mix it right. And this is just mostly, in these Hobbit movies, it's just mostly CG. And it looks god-awful. Why would you use CG in a movie that you say you're, passionate about making, but you only use computer generated imagery? It just makes no sense to me. If you're gonna make this world, use practical for the world, yeah, a little CG for some of the characters is fine. And one of my biggest problems with, even though I liked the first one, I had a problem with the villain Orzog. That main orc, that's the main villain in the Hobbit movies. Even someone like me who didn't even read the book, I knew it didn't fit. I just thought he was just so bland and boring. Just a one-dimensional villain with really no motivation except, the same generic bad guy thing where, let's just, we have to kill these people because they're on this quest, and blah, 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 blah. And I just found, I heard, I haven't read the book, but it sounds like they took things from the book and extended it. A small portion of the book, they just flat out made longer. I don't hate these movies, the last two. I just think they're just kind of mediocre. I can see why people like them. There are some good things coming from those movies. The scene in the second one where Bilbo's talking to Smaug in the treasure room at Lonely Mountain. That was pretty cool. When Smaug is just comes out of the gold and just wow, thief. That was pretty awesome. And Benedict Cumberbatch, I'll give it to him. He does an outstanding job as Smaug. And I'll admit the scene where spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, where they kill Smaug at the beginning. I kind of like that scene, where Smaug's just swooping over Lake Town and just burning buildings and shit. And he basically gets taken out by that iron arrow thing. That was pretty cool, but I pretty much knew I wasn't gonna really care for the movie when they showed him Smaug's death scene, because it's weird because he flies up after he gets hit by the iron thing. He flies up, his body does. You see his eyes black out, signifying he's no longer alive. And his body just falls down, on the ground, of course. I don't know, to me that just felt like they were over emotion, or being too dramatic with it, trying to make it too dramatic. And I'm not the only one who said this about these movies. These movies were only made for money. That it's a perfect. It freaking shows. I mean, why do you think they took one book and they split it into 3 parts just to make buck, just to make a buck? That's it. I doubt there's any like passion for doing that, because there's so many unnecessary things that could be cut out of these fucking movies, especially like Legolas and that other chick. I mean, yeah, Legolas and the elf chick having a romance with that one dude. That wasn't needed. That just goes to show that every franchise has to have a love story nowadays, and it's annoying. Everything has to copy Twilight. I don't get it at all. I don't know. Maybe if I go back years from now and watch the last 2, I might like them, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I'm thinking if I can find a copy of the book, I'm gonna buy it. Because I need to know how far off and accurate it was from the book, because I have no idea at all. And like, yeah, like that was one of my biggest problems with the first one. Even though I enjoyed it, there were some scenes that felt padded out to extent. Like half of the stuff in the sequels could be cut completely, and it would still be the same movie. And the fact, this kind of pissed me off because they're in the second one, they were close to Woolly Mountain to get in there, to get the Ark thing, and they kill Smaug. Then they get captured by Legolas, and that takes, I don't know, like 40 minutes for them to escape, or something. Like maybe 30. I think I'm overdoing that. And like, it just feels like the plot starts at the beginning of the movie, but then it stops when they get captured. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the movie just takes a complete halt for no reason. And I know people like the second one. I just didn't care for it. I waited the end of 2014 to watch it, because when it came out, I had a feeling I wasn't going to care for it for some reason. Then I watched it, and yeah, it was true. I don't know, maybe, but you never know. A lot of people have mentioned this. I honestly agree that someone's going to be out there and like cut like all the movies, all 3 of the Hobbit movies, and put them together for like a 4-hour movie. I'm honestly okay with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm honestly okay with that. I'm sorry. Like, and I'm fine. If you like the movie, I'm fine. That's okay. That's your opinion. You have every right to that opinion. There's no one's opinion is wrong unless it's racist or offensive towards someone. Like, Nazism or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, I'm sorry for the friends and people I know that like this movie. I'm sorry. This Hobbit prequel franchise, I'm sorry. I did not like it, really. I liked the first one, didn't care for the second one. The third one was meh to me. A lot of people compared the Hobbit trilogy to the prequels, Star Wars, and I wouldn't go that far. That's like fucking. That's like saying, trying to think. That's like saying Superman Returns is like as bad as Superman 4. It's not. I don't think it's a good movie. It's not that good. Superman Returns to me is just kind of mediocre, but it's not as awful as that piece of shit. Yeah, it's disappointing. I'm kind of disappointed in these last 2, because like a lot of people, I expected more. Even if I hadn't read the book, I was disappointed. I was let down pretty much. And they also have a Lego The Hobbit video game, which I have, but it sucks. Don't play it. it repeats the same puzzles throughout the game more than other Lego games did. It's ridiculous. And there is some funny moments in these Hobbit movies, but it's just not enough to make me enjoy it. I was just bored. I was kind of depressed when I was watching them. Like, honestly, and I'm fine with slow building movies. Drive is one of my favorite movies of all time. Starring Ryan Gosling. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I love that movie. Godfather is my favorite movie of all time. I love that movie. The first time I saw it, I loved it. I still do, to this day. So it's not me, like, complaining, oh, it's too long, it's boring, it's slow. No. I'll agree with people who says it's too long. It is too long. You know, it's weird, because I didn't have a problem with Hunger Games cutting up Mockingjay, or Harry Potter cutting up Deathly Hallows. I really didn't have a problem with that, because when they added stuff in, I thought that stuff was interesting. I found that stuff to be very investing into the story, and brought some form of context into the story. And I don't know, one of my biggest problems with the last two were, like, some of the action scenes were shot kind of too fast-paced for me. I mean, fast edit, kind of, not shaky cam, but kind of distracting, kind of annoying, irritatingly. Yeah, it just took me out of the movie. I did, like, every action scene in the second one and the third one, I just wasn't the biggest fan of. Like, I thought it was kind of just boring. I don't know, maybe if they, here's the thing, maybe if I read the book, I might like them better, but I still have doubts, because usually when I have an opinion, I barely change it, unless it's a movie I saw long ago that I didn't like, but now I like, sometimes, unless the movie's like, I don't know, That's My Boy or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I'm sorry. To the fans, I'm sorry. You guys are cool. It's alright if you like this franchise, but I'm not one of those people. And I'm a fan, like I said, I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, the movies. But it just didn't, these new ones didn't do anything for me, really. I'll admit that Martin Freeman, Ian McKellen, and Benedict Cumberbatch are like, and Dracula. The guy who played Christopher Lee, yeah. You probably all know him from The Man with the Golden Gun, and, you know, the prequels as Count Dooku, and Dracula from, like, the Hammer films. Yeah, I just didn't care for this movie, like, at all. So, these movies, I don't know. If I had to give a rating to them, I'd probably give The Hobbit a 7.2 out of 10, maybe. Like, it's good, but not great. That kind of movie. That was the kind of movie it was for me. For Desolation and Smaug, probably like a 5.2. Pretty mediocre at best. It wasn't horrible and it wasn't good either. It was just whatever. It just exists. There's some good things in it, but it didn't help. They didn't help any, really. Third one, I might give 5.4, just for the scene where Smaug is destroying Lake Town and his death. And maybe the whole thing where Thorin is becoming a different person because he's now king again. He's reclaimed the throne of Lonely Mountain, and he's kind of started acting like an asshole towards everyone. That was done pretty well. Like, the guy who plays Thorin, Thorin's a flawed hero, but he's a three-dimensional character. He's still really likable, even though he can be a dick. And But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. It didn't. And I'm not pissed off at the movie. I'm not mad. I'm just kind of sad and disappointed. Because, like a lot of people, I expected more from it. I didn't expect them to have some story, but just adds more stuff that doesn't even make sense. There's no reason for it being there. It just feels off to me. Really off. It just, I don't know. You know, I am kind of depressed, I'm not gonna lie. God. I know this is kind of a depressing mini review, but it really is sad, because I kind of wanted this. I wanted this franchise to end with a bang, and to me it ended kind of with a whimper. Not like a whimper like The Matrix, like, or I'm trying to think of a franchise that ended poorly. Maybe, I don't know. Like, a franchise that ends terribly, like, bad. Okay, RoboCop. Like, the original RoboCop's, like, how, like, the first one is a classic. I love that movie, like a lot of people. The second one, I think, is an underrated movie. It deserves more credit than it gets. And I think it's a solid sequel to the first. And then, like, the last one the third one's the last one in the trilogy, and it basically, in the third one, sucks. That's what I mean when it means it ends kind of like a whimper. Except it's not like the whimper of, like, RoboCop 3, where, like, Ecto-9 gets shut down by a 9-year-old girl. Not something like that. Not something stupid like that. It just ends kind of my reaction being, whatever. I doubt I'm ever gonna watch those movies again at all. I might rewatch the first Hobbit movie, but no, the other one's no. So, yeah, I did not care for it. And I do hope someone takes those scenes from the movie and tries to make it a movie themselves. Like, kind of like cutting stuff out. But they actually have the scenes they include in that cut to follow the story and what happened in the book, even though I didn't read the book. So, that's all I got. Take care. See you later. Bye.